Peru's Nobel Prize-winning novelist, Mario Vargas Llosa, compared a hypothetical presidential runoff between Ollanta Humala and Keiko Fujimori to a choice between AIDS and terminal cancer. After a first round that split the centrist vote, Peruvians did go to the polls again on Sunday to choose between Mr. Humala, a former army officer promoting a leftist brand of Andean nationalism, and Ms. Fujimori, whose claim to the job rested on the fact that her father was Peru's controversial president for most of the 1990s. Reluctantly, Mr. Vargas Llosa, along with a narrow majority of his fellow citizens, decided Mr. Humala was the better candidate. Well, joining me now, so we can find out more, joining me now from Lima, Peru, is former Peruvian president and a man who also stood in this election, President Toledo, Alejandro Toledo. Welcome to the program. Before the first round of this vote, everybody picked on you as the favorite to win. But just towards the time of the first vote, you didn't win and you didn't qualify for one of the two people in the runoff. Why was there that change? Was it luck, judgment? Why did your leadership not win you the race?
We were 10 points ahead on the lead in the first round. And unfortunately, there was a Machiavellic move made by President Alan Garcia, today's president. And he wanted to go into the second round. Mrs. Keiko Fujimori, the daughter of the imprisoned President Alberto Fujimori. And so he put someone else and stole the votes, literally. And so we were not able to make the second round. And so and then they end up Mr. Humala and Keiko Fujimori. We were the favorites, but something happened in the first round that Mr. Garcia, who is governing in complicity with Fujimori, wanted the daughter of Fujimori to go into the second round, and that's why we were not in the second round.
So he was responsible for that, Alan Garcia, the president?
Absolutely.
And why did, when it came to it and you had to decide who to vote for in the second, since you couldn't vote for yourself because you weren't in the second round, why did you choose to back Mr. Humala rather than Ms. Fujimori?
Because I was the leader of the Democratic Coalition to bring down corrupt government during the 90s. Alberto Fujimori, who escaped from Peru to Japan, and we discovered that he has a Japanese nationality, that he was not a Peruvian. He resigned by fax from Tokyo, and it was really a movie of Hitchcock, of political surrealism, and to the extent that I was the leader who mobilized the people to bring him down, and we discovered later on that it was a government with a very deep corruption and with violation of human rights. It was impossible for my party and for myself personally to vote for Fujimori's daughter again. And so, unfortunately, Peru was caught into an undeserved dilemma of choosing between Ollanta Humala and Keiko Fujimori. Ultimately, we chose the lesser of the evils, and I decided to support Ollanta Humala, but with the conditions that we will be a very rigorous, vigilant of the democratic values, the freedom of the press, the human rights, the rule of law, and not to truncate the economic growth in which the country has been the last 10 years, growing at 8 or 9% for 10 consecutive years. Now, there is always a risk, but we have endorsed the candidacy of Humala under the principle that we will adopt a very severe, vigilant role in order for him not to go into the Hugo Chavez's line of policies in Latin America.
Are you confident that Mr. Humala will not be tempted to come into action with policies that sound as though they're the policies of Mr. Chavez in Venezuela?
Well, let me tell you, we have put straightforward conditions because there is the rumors that he has some association with Chavez. I have spoke straightforward with him that we will support and we will provide help to start his government. But if he, by any reason, goes on the direction of the Hugo Chavez's policies, we are not only will oppose his government, but we will go out to the streets once again to recuperate, to strengthen democratic institutions, to defend the freedom of the press, human rights, and to stimulate economic growth. So he knows what the conditions are, and we will not allow it. We will not allow any inclinations towards the Hugo Chavez's policies.
That's very clear, thank you. That's very clear indeed. You've been in great form, and thank you very much, and we look forward to talking again very soon. Thank you very much. Former President Toledo there. We're going to stay, though, with South America right now, after the break, because we've got the young tennis star from Argentina, Juan Martín del Potro. You may remember his great triumph 2 years ago against Roger Federer. We're going to find out what the future, after a bad injury, what it holds for him after this break.